Welcome to our channel. My name is Ashish, and in this video we will discuss about the ulnar artery and the radial artery. So first of all we start with the radial artery, ulnar artery, then followed by the radial artery. So before discussing the individual artery in details, let us discuss how this artery actually originates. So it's very simple. So let's make the diagram of a hand to illustrate the positions of the two arteries. So this is the forearm. This is the arm that curves due to the deltoid muscle, then in the lower border of the wrist, followed by the thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger and little finger. Here in dotted I am showing the humerus bone. Below humerus, the other two bones of the forearm are the radius and ulna. So let's draw it. Then it is the radius along the side of the thumb and other side is the ulna. Now let's see how the ulnar artery and the radial artery originates. Suppose this is the heart. Just I am showing with the help of a square, and from here arises the arch of aorta. From arch of aorta, brachiocephalic trunk originates. Then after giving some common carotid branch, it converts into subclavian artery. So this becomes the subclavian artery. Now at the outer border of the first rib, suppose here is the first rib, this is the first rib, and along its outer border the subclavian artery changes into axillary artery. Now after the black line which artery is proceeding, it is this shaded one, it is the axillary artery. Now axillary artery having three parts, divided into three parts by the which muscle? It is pectoralis minor muscles divides the axillary artery into three parts. Then at the outer border or the lower border of the teres major muscle, here is the teres major muscle, the axillary artery. At the outer border of first rib, subclavian artery changes into axillary artery. Then at the lower border of teres major muscle, the axillary artery changes into the brachial artery. So this is the brachial artery. Brachial artery. Now brachial artery continues in the arm or the brachium. So this is the brachial artery. At the elbow joint or in the cuboidal fossa, this brachial artery divides into two terminal arteries, that is the radial artery along the side of the thumb and ulnar artery along the side of the little finger. So here is one aponeurosis called the bicipital aponeurosis. So here it is the bicipital aponeurosis and the origin or the insertion of the biceps muscle. Now it divides into two arteries which moves along the side of the thumb, and the ulnar artery which moves along the side of here is the ulnar artery, and along the side of the thumb is the radial artery. Here is the radial artery, and then it makes the arches, that is the deep and the superficial palmar arch in the hand. So now we are going to discuss in detail about the ulnar artery. So let us see what are the relations of the ulnar artery and what is the course and the associated clinical anatomy with it. So let's begin the ulnar artery. The ulnar artery is a larger terminal branch of the brachial artery. So the first point in the course of the ulnar artery is, first we will discussing its course followed by the relation. So in the course you have to write of the ulnar artery, it is a larger terminal branch of which artery? It is the brachial artery. See here the brachial artery divides into two branches, that is ulnar artery and the radial artery, and the larger one is the ulnar artery. So it is the largest terminal branch of the brachial artery. Here B stands for brachial. You should write the complete name brachial in your notes. So course, the first point is it is a larger terminal branch of the brachial artery. It originates in the cuboidal fossa. So what is this region in which the brachial artery divides into two arteries? It is the cubital fossa. It originates in, we will discuss it exactly position the cubital fossa under the heading itself. So when we discussing cubital fossa, we'll discuss it exact position. So do subscribe our channel and stay tuned for the upcoming videos. It originates in cubital fossa. For notes, you can follow us on Instagram, the link of which is given in the about section of our channel. Now the next point comes, then it moves along the medial side of the forearm. This region is the forearm, so it moves along the medial side of forearm. It moves along the medial side of the forearm, oblique. Its pathway is oblique in upper part. Oblique in upper part of forearm. So it moves obliquely downward in the upper part of the forearm. Suppose this is the border of the forearm and this is the medial border, and it moves obliquely downward. See, it moves obliquely downward in the upper part but vertically straight in the lower part. But straight, ST means straight in lower part. It is the third point under the heading course. For the better understanding of the relation, let us discuss draw the diagram for the median nerve. The median nerve originates in the anterior compartment, crosses the brachial artery above in the arm, then move downward. Then it crosses the ulnar artery in the upper part, then proceed downwards and supplies the different digits. So this is which nerve? This is median nerve. Now let's see one more nerve. Here is the medial intermuscular septum. So here is the here is the lateral intermuscular septum. Here is the medial intermuscular septum. The ulnar nerve pierces it lies in the anterior compartment first. It pierces the medial intermuscular septum, then proceed backward. Then at the back of the medial epicondyle of the humerus, it runs, then it comes forward, then moves along the medial side of the forearm and then enters the hand. Ulnar nerve, there will be separate video for the ulnar nerve, do watch it. So ulnar nerve first lies in the anterior compartment. It pierces the medial intermuscular septum, moves downwards, then behind the medial epicondyle of the humerus, then starts coming forward, then runs along the medial border of the forearm and enters the hand. So now you have learned about the two nerves. So let's write the other 2 points. The median nerve is lateral to the artery in the lower part, but it lies medial in the cubital fossa. So median nerve is medial in cubital fossa, and ulnar nerve, this blue one, this is ulnar nerve, is medial to the artery along its whole course. So ulnar nerve is medial to artery. So median nerve, it crosses the artery, and the ulnar nerve is medial to the artery in the whole course. Then it enters the palm by passing in front of the flexor retinaculum lateral to the ulnar nerve. There is a separate video for the flexor retinaculum. Do watch it to find the position of the median nerve and the ulnar artery. You will see that the ulnar artery lies in the region of the superficial slip. Then it enters the hand and gives branches. So let us discuss the relations very simply. For us, the relations are going to be very simple because we'll going to deal with the help of a diagram. So let us discuss the relations. Here is suppose this is which artery? This is the ulnar artery, and whatever things in the front will be that above. Let's draw the compass here. This is all the things are anterior. this side back posterior, here medial, and this side lateral. So let's draw the different relation. In the anterior side we have two relations. It is the upper half and this is the lower half. In the lower half the relation is SST, skin, superficial fascia and deep fascia. And in the upper half of the anterior relation we have the common flexor origin, common flexors, and one nerve, that is the median nerve. So median nerve lies anteriorly to the artery in the upper half, and in the lower half the artery is cutaneous and only have the relation skin, superficial fascia and deep fascia. Whenever I write SST together, it always stands for skin, superficial fascia and deep fascia. In the medial side the relations are very simple. As I've already told you, we have the which nerve? We have the ulnar nerve and the flexor carpi ulnaris. So in the medially we have ulnar nerve. So these all are the anterior relation, anterior, and in medial we have the ulnar nerve and flexor carpi ulnaris, flexor carpi ulnaris. So these are the relations on the medial side. This on the medial side. Now what is remaining the posterior side? Posterior side we have two muscles, that is the brachialis and FDP. FDP stands for flexor digitorum profundus. Do watch the trick to remember all the muscles of the forearm in the playlist section of our channel. So FDP stands for flexor digitorum profundus and brachialis forms the posterior relation. Now let's see the lateral relation. Lateral relation is formed by just one muscle, that is the FDS. FDS stands for flexor digitorum superficialis. Like this we have completed all the relations of the ulnar artery in a very simplified way. So FDS stands for flexor digitorum superficialis. Now in the next video we'll see about the branches and the clinical anatomy of the ulnar artery. Thanks for watching.